Have you ever stopped to think that your mind can be a veritable wealth factory? No, that's not an exaggeration. And we're not talking about magic formulas or empty promises. We're talking about something that's within your reach right now: creative visualization. What you're about to discover may surprise you because perhaps no one told you that your brain, when properly directed, has the power to transform thoughts into reality. And yes, this includes attracting money, opportunities, and prosperity in ways that seem almost miraculous, but are entirely possible. Imagine for a moment that everything you desire already exists in an energetic dimension, just waiting for you to align with that frequency to manifest. Sounds like something out of a movie. Well, that's exactly how the universe works. It responds to your vibration, your intention, and, most importantly, the clarity with which you visualize what you want. And that's where creative visualization comes in. A powerful technique used by athletes, entrepreneurs, and people who understand that the mind is the first place where wealth is born. Have you ever been there? That moment when you dream of a better life, but soon feel doubt, fear, and the feeling that it's not for you? This happens because most people haven't learned to use their minds as allies. They live on autopilot, repeating patterns, unaware that they're creating scarcity instead of abundance. But stay with me until the end, because today, you'll learn how to turn this around. Creative visualization isn't just vaguely imagining something. It's a conscious, detailed, and emotional process. It's like watching a movie where you're the protagonist of your own success story, and the more real this movie feels to your brain, the harder it will work to transform this vision into reality. This happens because the brain doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's intensely imagined. It begins to activate behaviors, emotions, and even decisions that put you on the path to what you visualized. And it's not just about positive thinking. Creative visualization goes beyond that. It involves feeling prosperity, seeing the details of your abundant life, hearing the sounds of victory, and touching the objects you desire to achieve. It's a complete sensory experience that activates deep areas of your subconscious and sends clear signals to the universe about what you're ready to receive. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll learn practical exercises that can completely change the way you attract money and opportunities. And the best part, you can start today with what you have, where you are. Your current situation doesn't matter. What matters is what you're willing to visualize and feel from now on. Now that you understand the power of your mind, let's dive together into the techniques that will help you create wealth with awareness, intention, and clarity. And get ready, because what comes next may open doors you never imagined existed. And as you prepare to dive into the techniques that will unlock your creative potential and transform your financial reality, I invite you to be an active part of this journey. If this topic resonates with you, leave a comment below with what resonated most with you, which part sparked a light within you, or even a question you'd like clarified. Your story can inspire others who are at exactly the same starting point, and this creates a powerful support network. And if this content is making a difference to you, don't forget to like the video. It's a simple gesture, but it helps this knowledge reach much further. Oh, and if you want to keep receiving content like this, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. Your participation here is what makes this channel grow and reach more people with this kind of transformative message. Now, take a deep breath, because the following techniques will show you that creating wealth isn't just possible. It's inevitable when you align mind, emotion, and action. Let's go together. Have you ever noticed how some people work tirelessly, pursue opportunities, dedicate themselves every day, and yet still seem to never get anywhere financially? This isn't for lack of effort, nor for lack of talent or dedication. In fact, what often underlies this silent struggle is a factor that's rarely discussed openly: the way these people think, how they envision their lives, how they envision their own success. And perhaps this is the turning point you've been missing in your journey. There's a hidden truth that few have the courage to explore: the profound impact mindset has on daily decisions. It's not about working more hours, taking more courses, or accumulating skills, although all of these can be helpful. It's about accessing an inner level of transformation that begins with mental and emotional clarity about what you want to experience. Those who haven't learned to visualize live at the mercy of chance, and so no matter how hard they try, they always seem to swim against the current. Imagine for a moment the backstage of your mind: inherited beliefs, old fears, limited expectations, all of it operating silently, determining your limits without you even realizing it. The good news? This can be reprogrammed. Visualizing is like rehearsing the lead role in your own story, but with the clear intention of changing the script. And the deeper you delve into this process, the more you realize you're not just dreaming, you're shaping realities. When we talk about wealth, we need to understand that it begins as an image, and this image needs to be nurtured with emotion, with details, with truth. People who prosper are not those who have never felt fear. They are those who have learned to see beyond it. They have developed the ability to visualize paths, even amidst the fog of difficulties. And this is not a gift exclusive to a few. It is practice, it is decision, it is intention. The question that needs to be faced head-on is, what are you feeding your mind today? Because that's where your greatest potential for change lies. Your brain doesn't distinguish between what you experience and what you feel intensely. And when you begin to feel abundance before it even arrives, something magical happens. Your behavior changes, your choices align, and results begin to appear. Not by luck, but by alignment. The impact of this is real, and it's not just personal. When you transform, internally the impact goes even further. Your way of communicating changes. Your energy becomes more magnetic. Your opportunities multiply, not because the world has changed, but because you've started seeing it through a different lens. And this creates a chain reaction that can affect everything around you. Now I want to delve even deeper into this topic because understanding the root of scarcity is essential to creating a solid and lasting abundance mindset. Let's explore together what prevents so many people from allowing themselves to imagine a more prosperous reality and how to consciously and strategically break this pattern. This is where many people get stuck without realizing it, and it's also where the greatest revelation occurs. Comment there. That makes sense to me. Visualizing is more than just vaguely imagining something or wishing things would improve. Creative visualization is a conscious process that involves intention, clarity, and emotion. When you practice this technique correctly, you begin to realize that it functions as a kind of internal tool to reprogram your perception, habits, and behavior. And we're not talking about something mystical or far from reality. We're talking about a natural function of the mind that, when activated, can have a profound impact on all areas of your life. Think of creative visualization as planting a seed in the fertile soil of your mind. But this seed doesn't grow on its own. It needs to be watered with clear images, real feelings, and a solid belief that what you desire is already in the process of manifesting. When you create a vivid mental image of something you want to achieve, whether it's a financial achievement, a professional change, or even a specific lifestyle, you're sending a direct signal to your subconscious, and that's where the magic begins. Your brain begins to reorganize the backstage of your attention, your decisions, and even your energy to make this image become reality. Neuroscience has shown that the brain reacts very similarly to what is experienced in practice and what is intensely visualized. This means that by creating a complete mental scenario with sounds, colors, movements, emotions, you activate the same brain areas that would be activated if that were actually happening. In other words, you're training your system to recognize opportunities, create solutions, and make decisions aligned with this visualized future. Now I want to delve even deeper into this topic because understanding how this tool can be applied in everyday life is what turns theory into real results. And to do so, it's important to dispel some myths. Creative visualization isn't a magic, instant formula. It requires consistency, intention, and above all, a true emotional connection with what's being visualized. Without this, it becomes just another daydream lost amidst a hectic routine. So when you dedicate a few minutes of your day to this process, it's as if you're accessing an inner dimension where you not only dream but also rehearse your own transformation. And this practice over time creates a kind of bridge between what you experience today and what you want to experience tomorrow. It's in this space that change begins, and each time you return to it, you strengthen this bridge, making it more concrete, more secure, more accessible. The impact this has on your journey is subtle at first, but profound over time. You begin to notice patterns shifting, opportunities emerging, decisions being made with greater clarity. It's as if that image that once seemed distant begins to draw closer, step by step, until it touches your reality. And all this because you chose to look within with courage, with intention, with awareness. The connection between the mind and the universe is one of the most transformative revelations anyone can experience. And the most incredible thing is that it's present all the time, even if invisible to the eye. Everything vibrates, everything emits frequency, and this isn't just a spiritual belief, it's a scientific fact. Quantum physics, for example, has already demonstrated that matter isn't as solid as it seems, and that atoms, which make up everything that exists, are in constant motion. In other words, what you see as fixed and immutable is actually vibrating in an energetic dance all the time. And the most fascinating thing, your mind is part of it. Your thoughts generate waves, your emotions create resonance, and the combination of these forms your personal frequency, a kind of signal you emit to the universe at every moment. When you are aligned with feelings like gratitude, clarity, enthusiasm, and love, your vibration rises, and the universe responds to this, not as a judge that rewards or punishes, but as a vibrational mirror that reflects exactly what you are emitting. This changes everything, because it reveals a hidden truth about your reality. It is moldable, it responds to you, and that's where creative visualization gains even more power. When you visualize something with true emotion, detail, and presence, you begin to vibrate at the frequency of what you desire. And the longer you stay connected to that image, the stronger your energy field becomes, which attracts, magnetizes, and materializes. It's not about forcing the universe to give you something, it's about becoming compatible with what you want to receive. That's the key, that's the turning point. Think about it. If everything is energy, then your decisions, your habits, your attitude toward life, all of this emits signals. And when these signals are misaligned with what you want to achieve, it's like trying to tune into a radio station that's off frequency. You hear noise, don't understand the message, and become frustrated. But when you adjust your internal frequency through conscious intention, mindset shifts, and emotional visualization, clarity emerges, the signals intersect, and flow begins to happen. Some call it the law of attraction. Others call it an energy field, a spiritual vibration, a quantum mind. The name doesn't matter. What matters is understanding that you are constantly creating your reality. And when you begin to take responsibility for this vibration, something profound shifts, not just in your external life, but especially within you. It's like awakening to a new level of consciousness, a point where decisions take on more weight, and where you begin to realize that the universe is not a random place. It is responsive, it is intelligent, it is alive, and it is listening to you. Now I want to delve even deeper into this topic, because the next step is discovering how to consistently cultivate a high frequency, even when challenges arise, even when thoughts try to drag you down. This is the secret that separates those who merely wish from those who truly manifest, and that's exactly where true transformation begins. Comment there. That makes sense to me. Now that you understand how deeply connected your mind, your vibration, and the universe are, it's important to talk about something that may be happening behind the scenes without you even realizing it. Because as surprising as it may seem, most people are sabotaging their own abundance with good intentions. That's right, many people visualize, wish, and think, but they do it incorrectly. And it's not because they don't believe or because they don't want to prosper. It's because they've learned a superficial model of visualization based solely on positive thinking or imagining vague scenes that generate no real energetic impact. The most common error is a lack of emotion. The mental image may be there, but if it's not accompanied by a genuine feeling, that thrill of excitement, that feeling of already experiencing it, the brain doesn't recognize it as relevant. And the universe, which responds to its vibration, receives a weak, confused, directionless signal. It's like trying to send an important message over a radio with interference. The idea may be good, but it doesn't get where it needs to go. Another point is generic visualization. Wishing for a better life, more money, or success isn't enough. The mind needs clear, detailed, and specific images to activate the creative process. When you visualize without form, without scenery, without texture, your brain doesn't engage, doesn't feel, doesn't activate the emotional triggers that accelerate manifestation. And then, the process becomes shallow, lacking any real transformative power. There's also the mistake of visualization as an obligation, something mechanical. People say, "Oh, I do this every day, but I don't see any results." And when we investigate, we realize they're just mentally repeating what they think they should imagine without connecting with their heart. Creative visualization isn't a routine, it's a ritual. It's that moment when you access your inner truth, where the image blends with emotion and creates an authentic vibration. Without this, it becomes just another mental exercise, and not an energetic bridge to the reality you want to build. And perhaps the most silent of saboteurs is the contrast between what a person envisions and what they believe is possible. There's no point in envisioning an extraordinary life if deep down you're carrying the feeling that it's too good to be true. These limiting beliefs act as vibrational shields. They nullify, neutralize, and block. It's like driving with the handbrake on. You try to move forward, but you can't get anywhere. And all of this needs to be acknowledged with honesty, empathy, and above all, courage. Now, I want to delve even deeper into this topic, because when you begin to identify these errors and consciously correct them, you open the door to a new way of seeing, more powerful, more connected, more transformative. And it's precisely this next step that will redefine the way you relate to your desires, your energy, and the manifestations you want to attract. Comment there. I'm on this journey too. Let's do a simple, yet incredibly powerful exercise together, one that can shift your frequency and open space for a new financial reality. I'm talking about what I call the Wealth Mind Movie, a visualization technique that activates all your senses and connects you deeply with the vibration of abundance. And no matter where you are on your journey right now, this exercise has the potential to adjust your energy so that it speaks to the universe more clearly, more powerfully, and more aligned. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine you're experiencing the best financial moment of your life. Don't just think, feel it. See the scene as if it were a high-resolution movie, with intense colors, smooth movements, and a soundtrack that conveys your achievement. Where are you? What are you wearing? Who is next to you? What's your surroundings like? If you're at home, visualize every detail of the place. If you're traveling, visualize the scenery, the aromas, and the sounds typical of that destination. Allow yourself to immerse yourself in this experience as if it were now. Now, make it even more vivid. Listen to the sounds of this reality. It could be a lively conversation with someone you love, the sound of a door opening to a new opportunity, the clink of a glass, toasting your victory. Feel the touch of objects that represent your prosperity. Perhaps it's the steering wheel of the car you've always dreamed of, the texture of an outfit you chose with financial freedom, or the paper on a contract that represents a significant achievement. Take a deep breath and bring a real emotion to this visualization. It could be gratitude, enthusiasm, or fulfillment. Let this feeling take over your body as if it were warming you from within. And notice how in that moment you are already vibrating at a new frequency. This is the power of creative visualization. You begin to emotionally experience something that is still unfolding, and this changes your attitude, your decisions, your behaviors, and the impact you have on the world. This mental film is a practice, a ritual, a way to reconnect with the truth of what you deserve to experience. And the more you repeat this process with presence and intention, the more your subconscious accepts this scenario as possible, as natural, as part of what you are building. It's not about fantasizing, it's about emotionally rehearsing the reality you've chosen to manifest. Because when you vibrate in this way, the universe understands the message. Now I want to delve even deeper into this topic, because there's a second exercise that will help you turn this image into action, converting energy into real movement. And it's at this stage that many people begin to see the first signs of change happening in their lives. Comment. Now that you've learned how to create your Wealth Mind movie, I want to show you a complementary tool that deepens this experience even further and helps give concrete form to your visualization, the Visualization Journal. This practice is like emotionally anchoring what you want to attract through writing, and you may not have realized it yet, but writing about what you desire is already a powerful way to attract it. When you write, you organize. When you organize, you focus. And when you focus with intention, you activate a vibrational field that communicates directly with the universe. The secret is to use the journal as if you were narrating what you're already experiencing. That's right. You won't talk about what you want to achieve in the future, but about what is already happening now, as if your visualization had just manifested. And this detail changes everything. By writing in the present tense with emotion and gratitude, you teach your subconscious that this new reality is already part of your journey. This language accesses a deeper level of the mind and begins to generate responses aligned with what you declared. For example, instead of writing, "I want to have more financial stability," you could write, "I feel at peace seeing my financial results grow steadily. I am grateful for each opportunity that arrives with ease and confidence." Do you notice the difference? You're not just wishing, you're feeling and acknowledging. This transforms the act of writing into a true energetic practice, a ritual of conscious manifestation. And the more you repeat this gesture, the more it becomes natural, until what was once visualization becomes a lived routine. Another powerful tip is to include details in your journal. Describe the environment, the dialogues, and the decisions you're making with this new mindset. Include sensory elements such as smells, sounds, and even tastes if appropriate. The richer and more engaging the description, the more your brain takes this reality as a reference and begins to shape your posture, habits, and vibration to manifest it. It's like building an energetic backdrop for what you want to experience. And this scenario begins to influence the real scenes of your daily life. And you don't have to write pages and pages. Just one sentence a day, written with truth and presence, already has a profound impact. The most important thing is consistency. Use this time as an intimate dialogue with your potential, as if you were sketching out a new version of your story, with clarity and intention. It's through this practice that you begin to notice the small revelations, the signs, the synchronicities that indicate something is moving, even if slowly, even silently. Now, I want to delve even deeper into this topic, because there's a strategic way to transform these recordings into emotional fuel to keep your frequency high, even on days when everything seems distant or confusing. And this next step is what will solidify this practice as a true part of your conscious manifestation journey. Right there, I'm on this journey, too. Then, that makes sense to me. The time has come to activate one of the simplest, yet most profound tools you can use on your journey of transformation. The mirror technique seems innocent at first glance, but it carries an emotional and vibrational power that completely changes the way you see yourself, and consequently how you approach life. And this is essential, because before you can attract prosperity, you need to see yourself as prosperous. If you can't recognize yourself as such, the universe won't know how to respond to what you emit. So let's get started. It all starts with an intimate moment, where you look yourself in the eye, literally. Standing in front of the mirror, take a deep breath and create that space of presence. It's not about aesthetics, it's not about appearance. It's about connection. Observe your own gaze as if rediscovering a more authentic and powerful version of yourself. And now comes the most important part. Talk to yourself. Use affirmations that convey the energy of abundance, always in the present tense and with conviction. Phrases like, "I am worthy of the wealth that surrounds me," "My presence attracts valuable opportunities every day," or "I see myself as prosperous, and I act with this awareness in everything I do." And it's not enough to repeat them mechanically. You have to feel them. Let these words resonate within you, take shape, and provoke reactions. It may feel strange at first. It may even give you a lump in your throat. And if that happens, great. It means you're touching on deep areas that had been forgotten or discredited, and therein lies the hidden truth. When you begin to see yourself with respect, with value, with courage, your entire vibrational field changes. And this new internal state is like a clear signal telling the universe, "I am ready." This practice, if done consistently, begins to change not only your self-perception, but also the inner workings of your mindset. You begin to make decisions more aligned with abundance, begin to notice doors that previously seemed invisible, and realize that the impact of your energy multiplies in the environments you frequent. It's as if you're calibrating your own reflection to align with your desired experience. And here's a valuable tip. When using the mirror technique, choose a time of day when you're in silence, without interruptions. This could be first thing in the morning to set the tone for your journey, or at night as a way to give thanks and reaffirm your frequency. And if you want to enhance it even further, repeat your name during your affirmations. Saying, for example, "Andre, you were born to thrive," creates an even stronger emotional layer. This helps break old patterns, deconstruct limiting beliefs, and open space for new inner truths. Now I want to delve even deeper into this topic, because there's a complementary step that involves reprogramming your inner dialogue, that silent voice that accompanies us constantly, and that, if not transformed, can undermine even the most powerful affirmations. And therein lies one of the great secrets of conscious manifestation. Comment there. I'm on this journey too. And to show that all this isn't just fancy theory or another promise of transformation that sounds good on the surface, I want to share a story that practically translates the power these techniques have when applied consistently. It's the journey of Luana, an ordinary woman, a single mother, who for years carried a deep sense of scarcity, not just financial but emotional as well. She lived in survival mode, trying to balance bills, responsibilities, expectations, and a constant feeling of inadequacy. The world around her told her she needed to be faster, more productive, stronger, but she felt she was increasingly distant from the life she dreamed of. It was in a moment of exhaustion that she discovered creative visualization, almost by accident, while watching content similar to this. And instead of just listening and moving on, she decided to practice. She started with the Wealth Mind movie, visualizing every detail of a peaceful morning with the freedom to choose how to live the day. Gradually, she began writing in her visualization journal, using phrases like, "Today I received an incredible partnership proposal and I'm at peace with my financial results." At first it felt strange, almost like a joke, but something started to change. After a few days, she was moved to look in the mirror and say, "Luana, you can do it. You were born to thrive." That voice, which had previously said, "This isn't for you," began to quieten, and over time, other doors opened. Luana received offers for jobs that hadn't even been on her radar, reconnected with people who strengthened her support network, and made decisions with greater courage and ease. Nothing magical happened overnight, but everything was profoundly transformative. What this story reveals is something worth its weight in gold. It doesn't matter where you are right now. It doesn't matter if your finances don't add up, if your emotions are confused, or if the world seems to be accelerating faster than you can keep up. The turning point may be just a step away, and that step doesn't come from outside. It starts within, and this is something anyone can apply, yes, as long as they're willing to truly experience it, with presence, with feeling, with intention. Now I want to delve even deeper into this topic, because what truly sustains this transformation is an alignment between what you visualize, what you believe, and what you decide to do every day. And understanding this triad may be the missing key to accessing a new level of conscious manifestation, not as an exception, but as an active part of your journey. Comment there. That makes sense to me. If you've made it this far, something inside you has probably already begun to move, even if subtly, even if you can't yet name it. This is no coincidence. It's a sign that there's a part of you ready to take charge of your own journey, to transform your mind into a true source of wealth. And when we talk about wealth, we're talking about much more than money. We're talking about an abundance that begins within, manifests without, and reverberates in all your choices, relationships, and possibilities. Now, I want to invite you to make a conscious choice, to continue nurturing this energy you're accessing. And do you know how you can do that right now? By participating in this movement. Comment below what you'll visualize today with clarity and intention. It could be a phrase, a scene, an emotion, but record it, because writing activates a deep part of your mind that begins to recognize this new reality as possible. And this small gesture can be the beginning of a great transformation. If this content touched you in any way, please like the video. This support is essential for this message to reach more people who, like you, are seeking to unlock their mind's potential. And if you feel someone close to you needs to hear this, needs a reminder that it's possible to live with purpose and prosperity, share it with them. Sometimes, what seems like simple content can be the trigger that changes everything. You become a bridge, a channel, an expansion. Now I want to delve even deeper into this topic, because there's an emotional framework that underpins all manifestations. And when you understand this foundation, you begin to attract with more consistency, confidence, and ease. Let's talk about it. Comment there. I'm on this journey too.